Hey everyone, it's been about 5 days since the new Stream Closed Captioner redesign was released. That went out late Tuesday night, and now it is Saturday night. And I thought I would go through and do kind of like a small update video, just talking about what's going on. The first thing I have to say is that I felt like it was like a huge success during the launch. Doing the cutover from going from the original version built in a completely different language, completely different infrastructure, to the new Stream Closed Captioner built in, in another language, and different infrastructure. I was scared about doing the cutover and, everything just basically crashing and burning. But for the most part, everything went well. I did have a crash and burn moment for about 30 minutes, on Wednesday, Thursday, while I was working on some changes, but everything went back to normal and everything's been pretty solid. So I have been really happy with how things have been running. And with the new changes, I've been able to get some more insights on just the flow of data and being able to dial things in and get a better understanding of where things are going or where things should go. So let's go ahead and kind of just jump into things. So if you haven't been on the site already, this is the new Stream Closed Captioner. I'm really happy about the new design. Like everything feels good. The showcase page is really fun to go and check out. If you don't know about it already or haven't checked it out yet, the showcase page is basically everyone that is currently on Stream Closed Captioner and using it with Twitch. And it is a true count of the people that are using it, using the new infrastructure / language that I am using. It allows me to get more of an accurate count of the people that are online and currently using it. So I've been leveraging that to have a showcase page. So if you have friends or you yourself want to view other people that are using closed captions, this is a very direct way to see who is live, who is actively streaming using closed captioner. And this pretty much stays up to date. The moment you go live on Stream Closed Captioner, turn on that on button and on Twitch, you will show up on this dashboard. And the way you disappear from the dashboard is either you leave the site, or when you turn off the captions, it waits about 5 minutes before it removes you from the list, just in case you go on a bathroom break or something like that and you don't say anything for a while. It's based off the last time you've said anything at all. So it is set to about 5 minutes in terms of a counter for showing your activity, along with you being live on Twitch. To get into the data of things, I've decided to really dive into the data so I can get a really good insights on how people are using the site and how the performance of the site's going. So these are some graphs that I set up on New Relic to track certain things. So on the top left right here, this graph is actually a performance graph showing how fast captions are being sent on average to Twitch. So from the moment you speak to where it sends it over, where it goes through my backend and sends it to Twitch, takes about, let's say about 35 milliseconds. So the distinction here is this is how long it takes Stream Closed Captioner to go from you speaking, it sending that text to the backend, and then processing it, applying any additional profanity filtering, fetching any information to determine how to send things, and then sending it to Twitch. So this is sending it to Twitch, how long it takes for me to send it to Twitch. This isn't how long Twitch can take to display it to you, which is an important distinction I'll get into in a little bit. On the top right is actually showing the amount of messages that are being sent. So you can see there is a lot of captions being sent at any given time. So it, like right here is 1.9 100,000 messages, captions are sent within, basically this is like a 5-minute span. So there's a lot of people on the site. There's a lot of people that are sending captions to Twitch. And this is like a really cool way to see the traffic. This is from a 6-hour time span, but if we expand on this and we go to about 3 days, we can really see an interesting graph of the traffic. So we can see we get a huge drop off in the middle of the night for US time. And then we start really peaking up high, and around 5 o'clock is our peak, 5 o'clock Pacific. So 5 o'clock Pacific when people on the West Coast are starting to go live and people on the East Coast are currently live. It's really interesting to see this data of the activity of people using Stream Closed Captioner. The one cool thing that looking at this data allows me to see is the fact that whether we are in the middle of the night serving like 500 in a 5-minute span versus the Friday evening peak of sending over 2.5, the performance of the site is pretty consistent of the amount of time it takes to send to Twitch. Some of these other graphs have to do with some performance of fetching data. We can see that there was a huge peak here of time it took. This could be any number of things, but we could see we have a very consistent flow of data. And this also allows me to track display errors and when errors occur if something happens on the back end. And also with the Zoom features for meetings, I can see when people are actually using the Zoom feature, which is really cool. So while looking at the data and kind of crunching everything and seeing how performance occurs on the site and seeing how the site is pretty dang fast to send captions, this brings up a really weird issue I've been noticing. And that's, it seems that when sending it to Twitch, sometimes Twitch could take a while to display. It's hard to dial this in. It's really hard to see if it's an issue with the Chrome browser or an issue with Twitch delaying the sending of the data, given that we're just sending a massive amount of data through Twitch. So the cool thing that the new changes are going to allow me to do to experiment with is to basically go around Twitch and not rely on Twitch's PubSub API to send data to everyone's channels to display on the Twitch extension, and instead have those Twitch extensions have the overlay on your channel connect directly to the site itself, to my site. And that's one of the reasons why I rewrote the whole infrastructure, because the new language that I'm using, Elixir, allows for this. It's very performant. It can handle lots of data, lots of connections coming in. To give an example of how it can handle things, apps like Discord and apps like WhatsApp use Elixir to handle messaging in the chat and handling all that data flying through. So Elixir is built for sending and receiving data, and that's exactly what Stream Closed Captioner does. So I am curious to see what Stream Closed Captioner could do if we allowed all viewers from Twitch being able to connect directly to the site and get the information directly from my site instead of trying to pass it through Twitch. This could allow for more interesting interactions with the extension, since I don't have to send it through Twitch. And it could allow for better performance. I'm hopeful that this is going to work out well, because as you could see, when there's a lot of messages being sent from the client, when lots of people are connected to the site and are sending messages, the site is not having any performance problems whatsoever. Whereas before, with the old language I was using, the old infrastructure I was using, it would really struggle, and I'd be forced to really scale up the site and add lots of servers in order to support the traffic. And even then, things were kind of shoddy sometimes, depending on if there was really peak traffic. So just to kind of summarize what I'm talking about here is I'm just excited for the results so far, the data I see, and the possibilities of what I can do with the new infrastructure that I have that can allow me to finally do the things that I've been wanting to do and offer the reliability I've been wanting to offer everyone. I'm excited, and I hope you're excited too. And I'll be running this experiment fairly soon. I've been working on writing up the code for allow for the availability of the captions, so the browsers, the users, your viewers can connect to it. And right now, I'm currently working on writing the capability to connect to the new API from the extension. I'm writing that out right now. So I'm going to be testing that. What I'm going to be doing most likely is I'm going to be hiding it behind a switch, and I'm going to deploy it, get it running, get it approved by Twitch, because all the Twitch extensions that you see on Twitch have to get approved by Twitch. They're kind of like App Store. I'm going to get that released, get that work in, and then add like a little switch behind it and turn it on, see how the servers do, because there's going to be thousands, hundreds of thousands of people connecting to the server, and see how that does. And if the servers don't burn down, or if we're able to scale properly without breaking the bank, I'm going to leave it on. Otherwise, I'll probably just turn it off and reanalyze, figure out what other approaches I can take to ensure reliability and have more of the data flow in my control, instead of kind of sending it to Twitch and hoping that it gets to you and your viewers on the other end of things. So if I can go from you, the broadcaster, sending the captions to my server, and then the server sending it all the way to the user directly instead of through Twitch, I can really dial in the performance and really get an understanding of what is truly happening from end to end for everything. All right. So thanks for listening. And if you like what I do, please consider becoming a patron. It will allow me to continue to run the site smoothly. And if I have to scale up using this new stack, this new connection of directly connecting to the user, to the server, I can safely scale up without having to worry about breaking the bank, because I'll have support from the community. Thanks again, everyone.